Hey, what's going on everyone? Hawks21 here, back with another Splinterlands video. So I have a very exciting announcement today. Something I've been working on for a while, and I think it's come together quite nicely. I think it's going to be a really fun event. But basically, I'm going to run a March Madness style tournament for the Splinterlands community. For those of you who don't know, I am a massive basketball fan. I've mentioned that on my channel a few times at this point. So come March Madness, I'm really hyped up. I get excited. I love the tournament. It's so much fun. And I want to bring that same style of energy to Splinterlands. I think it's a game that has some personalities, that has some top players, where it would be really fun to run a tournament like this. For those of you who aren't familiar, basically what happens is college basketball teams play their entire season. At the end of the season, the top 64 teams are put in a bracket that looks like this, and they play against each other to move forward in the bracket. Eventually, one of them is crowned the national champion. We're going to run something very similar here with Splinterlands. Now, obviously, there's no built-in way to run a bracket like this, but I think I found a creative solution to make it work. Before I get into more information, why am I doing this? So the main reason why I'm doing this is because I think this can be an awesome community building event. We can talk about it on Twitter. I'm going to be making tons of YouTube videos about it. We can talk about it in the Discord. We're going to be able to talk about matchups before they happen. Maybe I'll even interview some of the matchups, before they occur. We could potentially get, two big content creators matched up in, the Final Four or even the championship match, right? Imagine a championship match between, Bulldog and Aftersound. I don't know if they'll join. Hopefully they do. But you can just see how that could get the community buzzing. I just think it would be a really fun event. It would cover multiple weeks, and it's something we could all talk about, look forward to, speculate on. I think it would just be a nice little boost to the community. So that's really why I'm running it. I think it would be a fun event. Hopefully you guys agree. Who knows what turnout we'll get, but I'm hoping it will be high. All right, let's get into some of the specifics. So I'm going to be running two separate tournaments. I'm going to be running a Wild Diamond and Wild Silver. Now I know I'm mostly a modern channel here, although that might be changing. Spoiler alert. However, the creative solution to make this work with the bracket requires challenges. And unfortunately in challenges, those can only be done in the wild format. So instead of trying to police it and just making sure no one plays any wild cards, we're just going to allow all wild cards. It's a lot easier. So a minimum of 32 must join each for them to run. If one of them gets 32 and the other one doesn't, that one will run. Both of them don't need 32 for both of them to run. You can enter both tournaments, so you can enter the Wild Diamond and the Wild Silver. However, there's only one entry per person into each. We are going to have a seeding tournament followed by this bracket play. So it's going to be an initial tournament run through the Splinterlands site, which I will show you in a second. And then based on the results of that, players will be seeded and we'll make our way through this bracket to crown a champion. The bracket play will be run through challenges, and I'm going to coordinate all of that from my Discord, which means you must be in my Discord to participate in bracket play. I do not care if you join and then leave as soon as the tournament's over. Just to make it easier for all of us to run this and for me to coordinate these challenges, you're going to need to be in my Discord for this to work. Again, I will talk about specifics with that later on in this video, but just want to put that up front right now. Entry fee. For the Diamond Tournament, it is going to be 10,000 DEC to join. In the Silver Tournament, it is going to be 5,000 DEC to join. Do want to mention Bird Game members get 25% off of the entry fee. As always, if you support my channel, which you can see information on that in the Discord, you get a discount on everything I do. So this included, Bird Game members, 25% off. Next, we're going to talk about the prizes. But before we do, we have to talk about our sponsor, Immortal Creed. These prizes I'm about to talk about would not be possible without them. So the Immortal Creed is a brand new blockchain-based auto battler card game. It has some similarities to Splinterlands, but it also has some key differences. Now, right away, you've probably noticed that I don't do a lot of sponsors on my channel. For the most part, that's because I don't like promoting hype products, if that makes sense. You know, I get opportunities to promote projects I don't think are great, I don't believe in all the time, and I turn them down because that's not the type of stuff I want to put out to my audience. However, this one's a little different for a couple reasons. First, these guys have built in silence for a really long time. The first I heard about them was about a week ago, and their pre-sale is on the 17th. It's not because I'm not sort of tapped into the ecosystem, I very much am. It's because they've spent a lot of time making sure they got it right before they've sort of released themselves and announced themselves to the broader public. Another factor is, a lot of games try to sell you something way before they're ready to launch anything usable. Now, while the battle part of this game isn't going to be out right away with this pre-sale, my first conversation with them, they presented me with an alpha version site where I was able to play the game. And it is a fully functional game. I could play entire matches. That is so incredibly rare for a team that is about to do their pre-sale. Having a working product as far along as theirs was, it's not something you see a lot. So that's sort of why I feel comfortable bringing Immortal Creed to you. A lot of their team is adjacent to the Splinterlands community. They play Splinterlands. I'm sure they're going to enter this tournament. I've been talking to them for a while. They're great people. And they also have Splinterlands based advisors. So one of them, I believe, based on their Discord, is Bulldog. I know they're sponsoring Bulldog's Guild for this month. So they value the Splinterlands community. They've been sort of here. They've seen what Splinterlands has built. And I think they're going to learn from Splinterlands' mistakes, and they're going to copy some of the stuff that Splinterlands does well, frankly. So combine those two things, and this is a project I'm very, very interested in. So, I said there's some similarities to Splinterlands, but there's also some differences. So, in Splinterlands, you obviously play a, 1 through 6 monster cards. The monsters fight each other. We see who wins. It's a little different here. You pick one immortal, and the cards you're kind of playing, so you can almost view this as a summoner a little bit, and then the cards you're playing boost this immortal. So it's kind of the opposite, where the summoner boosts your monsters. The cards you're playing actually boost your immortal, and your immortal is fighting your opponent's immortal. I'm actually going to play some matches for you later on in the tournament. But for now, just wanted to cover some basics. You'll get to see how it works, in a future video. But for now, the main thing you need to know is that the pre-sale goes live on March 17th. And if we scroll here, you'll see the packs are going to cost $2, minimum of 2 purchase, and you're going to receive bonus packs. So if we go here to details, you're going to get 10% bonus packs for 10 to 49, 15, 20, you guys can read. I'll link to all of this below. One thing I wanted to point out is they're only launching 500k packs right away. So it's not like they're doing this as a huge, massive money grab, right? In fact, only 200k are going to be available for the pre-sale. Just an idea, the Chaos Legion set for Splinterlands, it was 15 million packs, right? So here, they're launching their initial at 500k, so a much smaller initial launch, than Splinterland's most recent launch. Last thing I'll say right away in this first video talking about them, again, I'm going to be talking about Immortal Creed a ton over the coming weeks throughout this tournament. People talk a lot about, the people who were early to Splinterlands, right? The current people we view as whales, who have made huge sums of money on their investments. Now, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen here. And obviously, you 100% need to do your own research before deciding if you want to participate in the pre-sale that occurs on March 17th. What I am saying is, being early to something that takes hold has value. And this here is a potential opportunity for you to do so, right? You weren't early for Splinterlands maybe, but maybe this is a project you can get behind and you feel strongly about, and here's your opportunity to be early to it. So thank you to Immortal Creed. Again, I'm going to be talking a ton about the game. I'm going to be playing the game for you over the course of this video, over the course of this tournament, sorry. But for now, I wanted to introduce you to them. Links will be in the description of this video. And thank you to Immortal Creed. Okay, so let's talk about current prizes. There are going to be prizes paid out round by round. So everyone who makes the bracket will get 500 DEC. If you make the round of the 32 people who make the round of 32, will then receive an additional 1,000 DEC. So that's the key thing here. You know, if you make the finals, and then you get eliminated, you don't just get 50K DEC. You're going to get all of the previous rows here, and I'll pay them out as we go. So that's a key thing to remember. And I have that here. Each time you advance, you make the DEC listed. I want to also note, this could increase if we get a ton of people who join. So for now, even with sort of the sponsorship opportunity, there's some risk here for me. If not enough people join, I'm putting up these prizes. These prizes exist. I'm going to be paying out these prizes as long as the tournament runs. If not a lot of people join, I'm going to be in the hole for a lot of DEC. And that's fine, because I'm talking about something that I want to be really fun for the Splinterlands community, something that generates a ton of attention for the ecosystem. So if I have to eat a little DEC to do that, perfect. This is for fun. But if we do get a ton of people who join, I might boost these up. We'll see. It'll be a nice, happy bonus. But there is definitely room for these to go higher. There's also going to be other ways for you to make money throughout this tournament. First, I do want to say, if we get less than 64 people, we obviously can't have this first round because we're only going to have 32 people. We're going to skip to the round of 32. These prizes will just be combined. So if you make the round of 32 and 32 is the first round, you'll make 1,500. All right, so let's get into some of the specifics. I'll take a second to look here. The winner, 100K DEC to the winner on top of the previous rounds for diamond, and 50K for silver. So pretty sizable prizes here. The bonus prizes you could get. I will give out bonus prizes for big upsets, one. So, you know, if we go back here and you're a 16 seed who beats a 1 seed, I'm going to give you some DEC for that. Also, I'm going to be looking at all of your battles. So if you have a cool battle that I then highlight in a future video, I will pay you DEC for that. You will receive DEC for having good competitive battles. So there's going to be other ways for you to win. And who knows, maybe I'll come up with some other bonuses as well. All right, let's get into the seeding tournament. So these are going to be run through the Splinterlands site. One seeding tournament for each league. Following the seeding tournament, you will be seeded in the bracket. So you're going to play the seeding tournament, and then based on the results of that, you will get seeded in this bracket and you'll be matched up with an opponent. So if I quickly go to the Splinterlands site, here's what the two of them will look like. I haven't pushed live yet, but by the time this video goes out, they will be live. They're anytime sit and go, so you're going to have the full 24 hours to submit a team. They're going to be run on 3/16 at noon. There's a silver version, as you can see, Splinterlands Madness Silver Seeding Tournament, Diamond Seeding Tournament. One thing to note, you see 5,001, 10,001. I told you it was 5,000 and 10,000. The reason for that is I have to put a prize here, so basically you're going to get 1 DEC back. Everyone will. So these are just the seeding tournaments. Again, the prizes are not linked to these tournaments. This is to determine who makes the bracket, which is when the real prizes start. But in order to join, you have to get seeded. So this is how you do it. You have to come participate in these tournaments. This is also how you pay your entry fee, right here. So I don't have to worry about collecting money from people. It's all going to happen right through the Splinterlands ecosystem. So very excited to run this. Good luck to everyone who joins these tournaments. Again, they will be live. So get on here, get in early. Okay. So once the seeding tournaments are done, I guess one last thing to say. If more than 64 people enter, then the top 64 players will make the bracket. Self-explanatory. If less than 64 people enter, but more than 32, then the top 32 will make the bracket. Okay, here's the fun creative part, bracket play. Following the seeding tournament, members will be matched up and will play challenges against each other. So again, if we come to this bracket, the 1 seed up here will play the 16 seed, the 8 seed will play the 9 seed, etc., etc., etc. The first and second round are going to be best of 3 series. So basically, you're going to send a challenge to the person you're matched up with. You'll play that match. You'll do that 3 times, or however long it takes for someone to win 2 of them. So if you win the first 2, it's over, you advance. Each of these rounds is going to happen over a period of a couple days. So now this is why I say you must be in my Discord once you get to bracket play. Here's how it's going to work. So here's my Discord. I will include a link to it in the description of the video. You're going to see a madness section here with the basketball and madness. What you need to do is once you join these Splinterland tournaments, you need to come in here, and the only thing I want you to type in here is your in-game name and what tournament you joined. So your IGN, and then put silver and diamond, or IGN diamond, or IGN silver, whatever you joined. Any other messages that are put in here, I will delete. It's not because I'm trying to sort of get rid of your messages. I'm just creating this as a feed for me to be able to match up everyone to their in-game name. So once we get to bracket play, how it's going to work is I'm going to create separate threads. That's going to include me, you, and the person you're matched up with. So I'm going to hold both of your hands through the entire process. I'm going to make sure we find a time that it works for both of you to play these challenges. Again, you're going to have 2 to 3 days each round to play these challenges. So based on time zones and stuff like that, we'll be able to figure out a time. And then in those threads that are between me, you, and your matchup, you will then post the battle links so I have them and I can verify. So that's why you need to be in the Discord. You know, doing something like this is not easy. It takes some creativity. And the only way I can run this is through the Discord. Again, I do not care if you leave the Discord as soon as this tournament is over. But for the sake of this tournament, I need you in here. It's the only way we could possibly run a tournament like this. So again, hope you guys jump in here, play the tournament. It should be a lot of fun. I'm trying to think, because that's the most confusing part. So I want to make sure I cover that properly. Yeah, I think that's basically it. There's going to be separate groups for each matchup. It's obviously going to be a ton of groups that I'm going to have to organize and do, but I'm happy to do it because, again, this is going to be fun. And you're just going to send challenges to your opponent. And I'm going to be there to mediate and help make sure everything goes super, super, super smoothly. I will give way more specifics. I'll probably record a video just for people in the bracket on how to do all of this. So if this was a little confusing for you, do not worry. I will make it very, very simple once we get here. Okay, last thing to cover is one person here is going to get a free entry into a tournament of their choosing. I assume you'll probably pick diamond, but maybe if you'll be, you know, if you're more competitive in silver, maybe you'll just say, hey, I want the one free entry. So this is what you have to do to get free entry into the tournament. Again, I'm going to pick one person at random who does these things. One, you need to join the tournament. Actually, I'm adding an extra one. Post in Hawks 21 Discord So you have to post in that madness section. Okay, so you have to join the tournament of your choosing. Come into my Discord, post in the madness section. Then, as we often do, right, I put out tweets promoting my videos here, kind of like in this strategy. You have to retweet that. You have to retweet the tweet. That is literally it. And then follow the Immortal Creed Twitter account. It is at immortalcreed.io. Again, I will link to this in the video description. Here is what it looks like. Again, look, 7 followers. They built in the dark. This is a very, very early project that already has something that works, which is very, very rare. So Immortal Creed IO, you have to be following them in order to be eligible for the free entry. And basically how it's going to work is the person I pick is just, I'm going to reimburse them personally. You will get DEC sent from the Hawks21 account. So that's basically it. Right now, I need you to spread the word. I need you to join these tournaments, spread the word, join my Discord. This could be a really, really fun, exciting event if, you know, people get behind it and people decide to participate. If there are questions, please don't hesitate. Let me know. I'm happy to answer them, happy to clarify. Happy to put out a follow-up video if I need to. But let's spread this. Let's get a lot of people in here, and you know, let's try to make this a tradition. I think this could be a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to stop it there. Thank you to Immortal Creed, and thank you all, everyone who joins. This is going to be a lot of fun. I will talk to you guys soon, and see you around the game, hopefully in this tournament.